All right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome again to Ray on Sports. I am your host, Johnny Ray. We are coming to you live from the JMXR studios in Lancaster, California. The JMXR studios. Yes, that's what I said. The JMXR studios in Lancaster, California. And in this episode, we're going to talk sports rights with a very special guest, Mr. Adam L. Spencer. I'll bring him in right now. Good evening, Mr. Spencer. Can you hear me, sir?
Hey, I'm good. Can you hear me, Johnny?
Yes, sir. I can hear you quite well. I can hear you quite well. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a little bio on Mr. Spencer, and I'm gonna go ahead and let him take over from there, and he can tell you a little bit more about what he does. Mr. Adam Lee Spencer is an experienced sports agent and sports business consultant strategist. At the core of his consultancy work is stabilizing and strategically initiating future operations for your organizations or project. Mr. Spencer provides expertise on topics concerning the player, the venue or arena, rights holders, marketing, and sponsorship, major sporting events bidding, international sports or sporting cultures, while also providing a diverse and informed opinion in our military, international relationships, political, racial, social, and cultural issues pertinent to today. As a consultant, Adam's expertise encompasses athletic representation, sports administration, sports media and communication, youth sports administration, major sporting event bidding, sports marketing and sponsorship, sports rights holders operations, venues, arena, facility identification, and name, image, and likeness, which is NIL. Welcome to the show, Mr. Spencer, or would you prefer Adam? You tell me.
Hey, you do whatever's comfortable for you, Johnny. Adam's just fine. I appreciate it, though.
All right, all right. Well, welcome in, sir. First of all, how's your day going? How's everything going in your life?
Hey, we got a beautiful day. The sun seems to want to pop out here in Seattle, so we can't complain.
All right, all right. Yeah, I'm down here in Southern California. This is about I'm up here in Lancaster. It's called the High Desert, and we hitting about 108 right now.
On in my younger days, I wouldn't have a problem, but y'all can keep that. Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. Well, let's get right on into it. I gave you a little introduction right there. If you want to tell the people more about you, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Not much more to tell. Adam Spencer. I'm a child of Gloucester, Virginia. Retired vet, and now I'm a sports agent and sports business consultant. Spencer Group International. We on the internet. We all over the interweb. So glad to be here.
All right, all right, all right. So, with that, I know there's a lot of questions. I'm sure people will come on and ask questions about certain things. But one thing I want to hit on before we get to the some of the major questions is about the NIL. For those who don't know about name, image, and likeness, can you kind of open their eyes to that and tell them exactly what it is?
So, name, image, and likeness is easiest way to explain it for the purposes of sports in America. It's focused on the collegiate athlete or the high school athlete, and it's an option for that young athlete to monetize him or herself off their name, their image, or their likeness. So, in other words, I can go off and brand myself. I can go off and make and get me a little logo, slap it on a T-shirt, a book bag, or whatever, and become a brand. And now I can make money off of that. Whereas before 2021, I could not do that. The only and go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Whereas in the past, the only folks that were generally making money off of that was the school institution itself, the head coach, and maybe some of the staff around the athletic department.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, one question I have for you about that. I'm a parent, I'm trying to get my kid in school, and the NIL is going on right now. What makes me want to put my kid in school, and what motivation do I have for not how would I say it? Not just have them go to school just for the money. What's the motivation behind that?
Well, there's always mission one, and that's educating our children.
Okay.
That's mission one, obviously. Now, there's also the this is NIL can be a support process in the maturation of said young person also.
Mm-hmm.
Because after 2021, well, the kids that graduated high school summer of 2021, that's that first class after the pandemic.
Okay.
Every decision they made from an athletic standpoint to carry their athletic career forward in college was a business decision. And we have to look at it in that manner. So that's the second piece. Your child, your student athlete can become a business, put it that way.
Okay.
Within this process. Within this process also, depending on said son or daughter, said child's status, they can walk into a school getting a $5 million with a $5 million check waiting for them, depending on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe it's not 5 million. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's 2 million. Maybe it's a couple of 100,000. So for starters, for you as the parent, that child's basically off your books now.
Okay. Okay. All right.
to make it real simple.
Okay.
That child's, the child is no longer a bill for you. Depending on the child and the situation and the sport him or her is going into, you may become the bill for the child instead of the child being a bill for you.
Okay. Okay.
Caleb Williams has monetized himself. Marvin Harrison Jr., Maserati Marv. You look at Angel Reese. Look at what Flauge is able to do with her rap career and continue to play ball. 5 years ago, those kids would have been suspended from school and basically labeled as a problem child because because they monetized themselves.
Okay.
So that's the basics of it. And oh, by the way, circle back to mission one. I'm able to put said child into an environment where they're educating themselves for whatever it is they want to do. Whether it's after college, if the child is that great of an athlete after their professional career.
Okay. All right. So with their professional career, you say they become not a bill for the parent anymore. Basically, they're taking care of themselves.
Right.
So what type of things would keep my child in school? Because I'm saying everybody's not a Caleb Williams, everybody's not going to be an Angel Reese, everybody's not going to be a Caitlin Clark. I'm just that student that's trying to make it through college, but I see the opportunity to brand myself, right. But I might not be that top pick, or I might not be that top draft choice. How do I navigate through that?
So, number one, the first question of, well, the financial benefit is what's going to keep you in school. I mean, we see these running jokes now. If you follow sports the way I do, you see these running jokes now about it's guys and gals in college, 26, 27, 28, 29 years old now. And and it's not because they like something we saw maybe 20 years ago, had a military career or whatever the case is, or played baseball before they got a professional opportunity with baseball. Did that, didn't work out for them, or for whatever the case may be, they wanted to just try. They'll go back and play football now. The Chris Winkies of the world, the Hensons of the world, that was quarterback with the Cowboys there for a little while.
Okay,
look
I
at
remember
Ro-
him.
yeah. You look at Brandon Weeden from the Browns that got drafted in the first round. Played baseball for, I think it was 5 or 6 years, and made a decision to come back. Still had the college, worked it out to where he had his college eligibility, and played for 4 years, and then got drafted in the first round. So, there's that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Mark, I have some questions here that I got off of here, and I'm just going to ask the questions. And you give me your honest opinion on them.
Okay.
What's the next big move in the world of sports?
Okay. All right. So I'll give you a few.
Okay.
Streaming pushing out the RSNs.
Okay.
So that leads into now Apple, Amazon, and Netflix, maybe even Google, who knows, kind of now really having a foothold on the content side of sports as a whole. Number 2, I'll throw this out there. Unionization at the collegiate level.
Wow. I've heard that. I've heard people talk about that.
You go back and you look at the Dartmouth ruling where they basically were allowed to unionize. Now there's more back and forth with that. And there's if you are a parent, there is something you need to pay attention to as the NCAA continues to just basically lose court cases. You're starting to hear a term come out in media circles. It's even been thrown out in the explanation of some of these rulings. Right to work laws.
Okay.
If you're a parent or the athlete, I would challenge anybody to Google and make yourself smart on right to work laws.
Okay. And what's right to work laws?
So, and it's something I'm still educating myself on, but right to work laws are policy in different states where basically I'm not forced, for lack of a better term, to join a union. So basically, right to work laws give workers the freedom to choose whether or not to join a labor union in the workplace. This law also makes it optional for employees in unionized workplaces to pay for union dues or other membership fees required for union representation, whether they are in the union or not.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So that's the basic sort of construct behind the right to work laws. So if you look at it, there's 27 states that have right to work laws. Joe Biden won 5 of those in this last election in 2020.
Okay.
I don't care what your politics are, who you support. I don't want to hear your mouth running about whichever side you support. There is a clear message in that stat alone. You look further, the majority of those states are in the South.
Wow.
So we know football is the number one financial driver in college athletics.
Right. Right.
Basketball, and don't try and play gender either, because both of them are driving money
Right. Especially the women's basketball now.
right now.
Especially.
Exactly. It's number two.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the NCAA continues to lose court cases,
Mm-hmm.
they are, doing things. You see them throwing around different policy and different uh, scholastic legislation they're throwing around to try and gain control back and have more control over how the athlete moves monetarily and how the athlete monetizes itself, his or herself. So you're looking now, if the NCAA keeps losing court cases, but all the while still trying to control how the athlete moves and monetizes himself.
Mm-hmm.
This is just dumb me talking, but the one ace in the hole for the athlete would seem to be unionization.
Right. Right. That's the way it's going.
Right. That would seem to be the way it's going, because you look at the decision to go to play players back to, if I'm not mistaken, 2014.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's the next sign that revenue sharing is coming.
Wow. Wow.
And so you're going to see some form. So that'll be the next thing. So you're getting to a place where you'll see some form of revenue sharing, whether it's the NFL, where it's split between those 4 or 5 now, I think 5 or 6 rights holders that hold the rights to broadcast the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That money that is right now split between the players and ownership, or the league,
Okay.
put it that way. So it's only a natural progression of when you get to, at the NCAA level, with the money that is now being funneled into TV deals, and you're going to see the next round of negotiations for TV deals and at the big, at the quote unquote Power 4 level.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hear that start to ramp up again 2028, because it's the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12 should all have their TV deals done by 2032. They'll be ended. So you go back into to the negotiation table, basically, for all 3 of those conferences.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the situation right now with Washington State and Oregon State. If they can figure themselves out, or whatever it is they want to do, there's talk that maybe they kind of rebuild the Pac-12 again. So that would be another television deal.
Right. Right.
And
now, do you think that is that why they merged the way they did, like when USC and those teams went to the other conferences? You think it's all about the deals and the money deals, or is it about the because they're already getting national notoriety because of the school they are, like the USCs, the Oregons, because of the players that are coming out of there, and they know that the SEC is the to me, SEC is the hugest conference. That's where if you got a child that wants to get in it, that's where you take them to. You send them to Alabama, you send them to a Georgia, you send them to LSU. Do you think that's why those schools did what they did? They merged like that?
Well, there's a lot more context. Let's not lie to ourselves. Money's at the root of it.
Right.
Let's not lie to ourselves. This is, let's be honest with the people.
Mm-hmm.
But there is context. There's a conversation about the amount of money, because that was part of why the Pac-12 fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because what part of the conversation is the deal that the Big 12 got is the very deal that the Pac-12 had on the table from ESPN and Fox.
Oh, wow.
There's also issues of regional and local alliance within the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Stanford is not going anywhere without Cal.
True. Right.
USC is not going anywhere without UCLA.
Right.
You look at the ruling in the state of North Carolina with some of the noise now surrounding UNC,
mm-hmm.
making it harder for UNC to just bolt.
Right.
And leave it. Let's just leave NC State behind. Let's just say. So there's statewide and local political connections involved in it.
Okay.
There's also an academic connection to it all. So when you look at the Big Ten has something called the Big Ten Academic Alliance, the BTA Big Ten Alliance. It's an academic alliance. It's basically a regulation that states that you have to have AAU status academically. That's an all-American academic university. I think that's the correct. I think that's the correct explanation of the acronym. I might be wrong. I'm sure some of your listeners will be happy to tell me when I'm wrong. But so with that, you have to be a tier one research institution. So, in other words, on the research side, you have to be pulling in money anyhow, and have to have research studies in place to pull for that money to be pooled to.
Right.
Not everybody can do that. That's part of, and that's where Oregon State and Washington State got left behind. Because if Oregon State and Washington State had kind of been able to meet the mark academically, I think you'd have seen a lot more political involvement to kind of say, okay, all right, we got it. Y'all go skip house, but Oregon, you taking Oregon State with you. UW, you taking Wazoo with you.
Mm-hmm. And it's more of it's not what they're, let's say, portraying as the rival schools that have to stay together because they're rivals. They have to stay in the same conference because they play X amount of times per year or something like that. It's more of what you're talking about, correct?
Right. There's a lot more into it than just say, okay, we've been playing for the last 100 years.
Right.
Or
right.
I'm in Seattle, Washington. My school is in Seattle, Washington. Your school's in Pullman, Washington. We're the two largest in-state schools. You know, that right. sort of thing. There's a lot more context. There's I guess, and maybe it's not as prevalent as it was in the early 2010s, but there's also real estate grabs still.
Okay.
I want my conference in the Los Angeles market.
Oh, wow. Right.
See, that explains that's a deeper context. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That's a deeper context explanation to Rutgers and Maryland in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I want the DC, Maryland, Virginia TV market. I want the New York market, if you believe Rutgers can pull the New York right. TV market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to go into a lot of these next round of negotiations, and this what might be the last round of realignment, or at least the next round of realignment. Because if you look at it right now, as currently constructed, what's ESPN's West Coast package right now?
Good question. Think what is their West Coast package? What, UCLA, USC?
Nope. Arizona State, Utah, Colorado.
Wow.
That's their major West Coast package.
And now to the average fan, that's not really considered West Coast. I'm just, what I'm saying?
I
That's
just
not
work
really...
here and give you the information. Okay, fine. All the talk around Florida State. Maybe they want to go to the Big Ten. Maybe the Big Ten wants them. Maybe they don't. Okay. So answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
What's Fox's package south of Maryland?
Don't know.
Okay. Biggest school south of Maryland before you get to the Big 12 school. Well, it's a Big 12 school. Mm-hmm. UCF.
Okay.
That's excuse me. That's Fox's major packet, really in the deep south. And it's because UCF went to the Big 12.
Wow.
Fox has no other major package in Florida. Nothing of high end value, I guess, Power 5 high end value in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, or Georgia. Nothing in Alabama, nothing in Louisiana, nothing in Mississippi. UCF's the only school. And the next school in quote unquote the South would be those Texas schools in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
So the real estate buy aspect of it is also in it.
Wow, that's huge. And for those tuning in right now, this is Ray on Sports. We in with Mr. Adam Spencer talking NIL, talking college realignment, talking all things sports, talking finances, talking the real about it. I appreciate him coming on. He's talking the real. So you guys ask your questions. If you've got questions, please chime in. Mr. Adam, what has sports world learned from the pandemic?
Number one, for American purposes, we're very reliant on the two coasts.
Okay.
Especially in anything not named NFL or MLS. And that's because of the way the TV deals are structured. And this is part of the RSN conversation, which are slowly going by the wayside. Because take a look at basketball, baseball, hockey. Those are all leagues that have a standard television deal with a network, ESPN, Fox.
Okay.
One of your major basic cable, sports networks, or an over-the-air network, CBS, NBC, you name it. Those three sports, look at where the balance of decent teams are. More often than not, it's up and down East Coast.
Wow.
So I say this. Look at who stayed in the red or at least broke even during the pandemic.
Okay.
Golden State, the Los Angeles teams, the New York teams, the Boston teams, obviously. You could probably say the Chicago teams and the Dallas teams would do okay, were okay, but that's because it's Chicago. It's Dallas. Everybody else kind of, those hits that were being reported, a lot of that was those Midwest cities. If you do have a team in the Deep South that's not in Atlanta, there you go.
Wow. Just real quick, my man DJ Man just came in the building. My boy he's from down south.
For sure.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I know we talking sports, so I'm always for that, man.
Yeah. So we're talking to Mr. Adam Spencer. He's a experienced sports agent and sports business consultant and strategist. So we talking NIL. We talking sports learn world. What we talking about right now is what the sports world learned from the pandemic. Go ahead, Mr. Spencer.
So next thing that we probably learned is that you can do it without the fans in the arena, in the
Mm-hmm.
stadium.
Wow.
It's a different sound, looks a little different, a little weird for us because we're not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the European market, and that's not to say that they're used to it, but they do have concepts when certain clubs are getting punished or whatever the case is, and they use this term playing the game behind closed doors.
Mm.
So what that means is basically there's no fans allowed. They have different, I guess, regulatory reactions to incidents or whatever, where you won't see a certain section of the stadium filled
Wow.
at a match. So that's a little more normalized construct for Europe, but for America, we know what we saw when,
Right.
something like the bubble.
Right. Right. And people talked about the bubble. They said how it was. I guess they say it wasn't considered a real sporting event because it was in a bubble. But to me, that was the most hardest event, most hardest championship to win because you don't have the what they call the home court advantage. You're playing in a neutral zone with fans being pumped in, sound being pumped in, fan noise being pumped in. That's I think to me that was the hardest thing to play.
I
Right.
think
Oh, go ahead, Ken.
I think that was trash. I think the bubble was trash, bro. I'm with you that was more challenging, but I think uh psychologically, man, I don't think I think it killed momentum. I think momentum plays a huge part in sports, and I think psychologically, man, it just made it hard for both teams, and I don't think everybody was playing at their best.
I'm gonna push back on that, and I'm gonna throw this at you.
Okay.
Look at the scoring before the bubble, and look at how it jumped during and after the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clear delineation.
That means that people wasn't playing defense.
You can say that. You will make that argument. Fine. I contend that they were locked in more
Because of the non-distraction, because of not the distraction of the fans, is they were locked in more.
Yeah. Well, so and we know the celebrity status of NBA players. Okay, so you don't have the travel issues.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go run the streets at night because I'm liable to catch something and die, or they going,
Right.
sequester me for a week or whatever it is till they figure out whether I got COVID or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more locked in
On scoring
and defense, really. But I believe the shooting got better, and that COVID year was a test of organizations. Look at who got to the NBA Finals.
Right.
The Lakers and the Heat.
And then I didn't. Yeah. And I'm a diehard Laker fan, so I got I got to take the a championship's a championship. The Larry O'Brien's the Larry O'Brien. I don't care where you want it at. It's just like, to me, it's like the shortened season in '99. Remember the Spurs won?
Yeah,
and they talked about that one and said, well, that wasn't really a real test because it was a shortened season, and if we had more time. A championship's a championship. Larry O'Brien's a Larry O'Brien. The trophy's a trophy. Are you gonna put scratch on the trophy and says shortened season or bubble season or whatever like that? It's just
Yes,
gonna
you
say
should.
championship.
Yes, you should. Every championship is not created equal. Yes, those has its little asterisk to it, man. Like I feel like you know, since COVID was since in that bubble, what it took to be a champion is not the same that it took outside of the bubble. I think the mind space is not the same. I think that the defenses was not there. I think people were more focused on scoring because that's where the excitement was, and that's how I can actually get into the game. But when it came to defense, I feel like it was lackluster. I don't think the challenge was there. You know, everybody talks about how different it is playing inside the garden, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that. You didn't have to overcome those obstacles. You didn't have to play in places like the Garden or deal with the Heat and their crowd, the pace of the East Coast. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like how the crowd is and the way that it influences the game. You didn't have to overcome those challenges. So you know, the championship. I'm not saying that they're not champions. It's not the same. It's not the same to me.
But you know what? That sounds like a Laker hater right there.
No, no, no. See, I don't care. I don't care. All right, let me put it to you like this. I don't have a. I ride with the Spurs and the Rockets just because I'm from Texas, but I don't really have a team
Die hard team.
that I just die hard go for. Not in basketball. So
Okay.
I'm probably the most unbiased one here, man, because I don't really have a team. It's like I just enjoy the sport. So
Okay.
and for football, even with football, man, like I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, but I enjoy the sport of football. I enjoy the philosophy of football. So I don't care if it was the Cowboys, bro. I'm like, man, well, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I probably would make excuses for the Cowboys.
See,
I
there it
probably would.
is.
I
See,
probably would
there it
make
is right
excuses.
there.
I probably would make excuses for the Cowboys,
At
but
least the truth did come out. Took
I'm
me
not
a
gonna.
little while,
Exactly.
but it did come out.
I'm not. Look, I'm not a liar, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? If it was the Cowboys, I'd be like, say, I'm not. You know what it is? If it was the Cowboys, I would acknowledge that. That those are facts. However, just as a Cowboy fan, it doesn't matter. It's been 27 years, 28 years. I don't care. We need a championship. Period. I don't care how we get it. Let's just get one. We'll deal with the rest of the stuff later, bro. I could
Wow.
care less.
Wow. All right. Wow. See, I knew it was coming out sooner or later. I knew Cowboys was coming sooner or later. Knew it.
Man, what's wrong with the
Every time I talk to
What's wrong with
somebody,
the Cowboys?
ain't nothing wrong with the Cowboys, man. I
I,
appreciate, you guys do your thing. Jerry. Oh, so I heard this, and Adam and man, you guys tell me about this. So Jerry Jones did an interview the other day, and he
okay, this
says
guy
he says I don't care who you bring in, I still call the shots. I'm still the final say. I don't
trash.
care what a coach you bring in, whatever you do. I have the final say on everything. I don't need no extra managers. I don't need no extra sports agents. I don't need none of that because I have the final say on everything that goes on in the Cowboy organization. What y'all think about that?
Trash. I believe that's the reason why we haven't won a Super Bowl in almost 30 years. Trash. Now, let me say this. On average, teams go 33 years between dynasties. In the 90s, we had a dynasty. Teams go 33. This is numbers. We're talking numbers, right?
Okay.
So on average, teams go 33 years without a dynasty, which is the reasons why you only have teams like the 49ers, the Steelers, the Patriots that are either equal or have more accomplishments than the Cowboys out of the 32 teams. But Jerry Jones is definitely the reason why we have not been able to get to the promised land. It's him and his
Okay.
mindset.
So Adam, let's talk about Jerry. You're sports agent. You deal with owners. What do you think of Jerry Jones?
Al Davis.
Okay. Yep. I can say that.
And if you ever hear Jerry speak personally, he looked up to Al Davis. He modeled himself after Al Davis. No, the difference is he's kept the Cowboys a much more consistent franchise in his later years than what Al did with the Raiders. They are both these kind of iconic figures within the sport. um, innovators from a branding, marketing, and financial aspect. The Cowboys are worth $10 billion.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Can't everything be wrong?
Right.
All
Right.
right.
Can I say something about that real quick?
Go ahead.
You say can't everything be wrong? I think the business is right, but the product that we're putting on the field is wrong. I believe not even so much the product, the way that it's put on the field is wrong. The way that we're putting the product on the field, I think, is wrong. But the business, yeah, you're doing good business, but we're doing horrible football work.
So now here's my pushback on that. How was 12-5, 12-5, 11-5, or what was it, 10 and something?
10-6.
Yeah, you're going to the playoff. The product, the actual football people aren't truly failing. It's a whole lot of organizations that would like to be in the playoff hunt every year.
That's facts. That's facts. And
it's a whole lot of organizations that would like to worry about why we can't get out of the first round or second round of the playoffs.
That's true.
So I think you have to give him credit for that. I think the challenge is a lot of what you see now. You got to a point where you got to pay Dak, CD, and Parsons now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way in the world that should happen.
Those three. Let's dive into that. That's a good question. That's a good topic. Let's dive into that. How do you, as an agent, how do you navigate because from my point is like, I guess what's his name? The guy from Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. He set the bar.
Okay.
And so every receiver after that said, "Hey, look what he got." So how do you, as an agent, you got to think? Okay, so you're in the shoes of CeeDee Lamb's agent, and you just saw Justin get his money. How do you approach a Cowboy organization about his money, about getting his bag?
Well, number one, all right. If Justin is the best, for argument's sake, what is CD then? 3 or 4? Maybe number 2?
You think he's better than Tyreek Hill?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you can't hit,
I think football wise, Tyreek may be the fastest.
Right.
I think football intelligence wise, I think CD got him. That's what I think.
I put him right behind Tyreek, but I can take it either way. I put him right behind Tyreek in my list, though.
And Tyreek's another piece. Okay, so Tyreek had set the market at 28.
Right.
So if you think, and that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago now.
Isn't Tyreek at 30 right now?
It's 28, 30.
28. It's like 28 to 30.
30.
Yeah. Okay.
Right around that general area. So if he sets the market at that number a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, I'm CD. I'm top 5 at least. I'm top 5. So my starting point is 30 million in the conversation.
Okay.
And I know what Justin got. You know, my starting point's got to be 30 million in a conversation.
Because of who he is.
Yeah, because of who he is and because of what I put there. And the thing about it, all right, you've also really got the leverage of knowing he has to sign Dak.
Right. Right.
Okay, and then look at it too. Let's just say Jerry says, F it. I'm not signing Dak. I'm going to let him walk. So next year, I've got to do something to get a quarterback in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. because you ain't going to Trey Lance.
For sure.
That's another story. I think they've done that man dirty, but I think that man's been done dirty in the past, but that's a whole nother story. So actually, that is part of this conversation. We've either got to figure out Trey Lance quick, fast, and in a hurry if you let Dak walk next year.
Well, here's my thing. I think all of this stuff is purposely done. I think I really feel like you said that they did Trey Lance dirty. I really feel like Trey Lance is just a chess piece in the game called Dak, whether we're going to keep him or not. And I really feel like they really are putting Dak in the bind to whether you're going to put up and stay or not put up and we're going to get rid of you. And I really feel like they really wanted Trey, they wanted Trey Lance to be that guy. And I think this preseason showed them that they're a long way from where they want to be in the replacement of that. And I just feel like I feel like you said, man, a lot of teams would like to be where the Cowboys are, being in the first round of the playoffs every year. But somewhere along the way, we got to get over the hump. And I think Jerry Jones is the issue. He doesn't do – he did a great job of getting us to where we have been for pretty much the better part of 30 years. Round one of the playoffs. How in the world do we get over that? We need something different. Jerry is not working, bro. Be the owner, be the president, but allow the other people that you put in place to do their doggone job. And another thing, philosophy flows from top down. This is a reflection of who Jerry Jones is. The reason why we have these contractual issues is because of Jerry Jones. If we preached family and unity and we treated each other as family, these contractual issues wouldn't be so big. The reason why we had these issues is because we didn't build on the defense in that 2016, 2017 year when we should have beat the Packers. But the defense allowed Aaron Rodgers to get down the field in 26 seconds into field goal range. It's because we didn't have any DBs. And when we're supposed to be building on DBs, you know what we do? We build on the wrong side of the ball. It's like, bro, we're not too far away from where we are, but you want to do things to make it seem like, okay, Jerry is the GOAT when it comes to picking personnel. Man, I think he need to relinquish some of that and just let the coaches do their job and let them coach. It's the reason why Bill Parcells was only there for 1 year. I believe we had Bill Parcells for a year. It's because, man, like no good coach is gonna come there and let Jerry Jones just stand over their shoulder and nitpick at everything.
Okay. Well, so just to make it clear, Tyreek Hill deal is $30 million. He's at the $30 million mark.
Okay.
He's at
30. Yeah. And the reason why I brought it up,
$90 million over next 3 years, including a $65 million signing bonus.
The reason why I brought that up about family is because if we preach that as a culture at Cowboy Nation, contractually, we wouldn't be looking at what the market is doing. We'll be looking at what's best for the family. And when you look at what's best for the family, it's like, okay, look, let me sign you to this, and I'm going to bounce back and get you on this, but we need to keep this family together. When that becomes the priority, you know what I'm saying? Because we believe that we have something bigger. We have a Super Bowl on the horizon. Would you take a $3 million loss for that Super Bowl ring, or would you go somewhere to go be mediocre, but just to say you the highest paid player? Knowing okay, once we get to this, I got you. I'm gonna take care of you, but I need to keep these other two players here. And if I sign you to this tremendous deal just to stay relevant in the market and to say that you number one, it's like, okay, well, as a franchise, we take a hit, and now you're the number one player with a losing record. Congratulations.
Now, you know what that for me, is that more of the player wanting it, or is that the circle of people around him telling him you're worth more than that?
I believe it's the culture that's telling them that. When you preach family, I know because I'm the vice president of it's not pro, but it's minor league. You feel me? I'm the vice president of a minor league team. I started out as the D-line coach and went to the defensive coordinator. The whole time I was in those positions, we preach family first. We're going to look out for you, but it's family first. We all look out for each other. And because of that, even as right now, me being the vice president, they still call me coach. We look out for each other on everything outside of football as well. We could help out one another, we will. So we put each other first because we know by putting each other first, the team, the family can't help but be successful. And I think that trickulates, man, from top to bottom.
Okay. Because I think that's the same issue, because I'm a Niner fan, a diehard Niner fan. So I think the same issue they're having with Brandon Ayuk. From the reports I've been hearing, it's the guaranteed money that they're haggling over. That's the bottom line, is that the guaranteed money that they're haggling over. I think he went to the reports I heard, that he went to them and said, "Hey, Justin got this. I'm worth that to you." But like you said, if his family, to me, if his I can understand the dynamics of, your finances. You taking care of your family, you taking care of yourself. You trying to make sure that, I guess if you have a job, if you're at a job and you say, "Hey, I'm at this job, I'm making X amount of dollars a year," and you bring in somebody else who's making more, but they're doing the same thing I'm doing, or I'm doing it better. Yeah, you go to management and say, "Hey, how come I can't get paid what he's getting paid, and he just walked in the door?" So I think in Ayuk's case, that's what his circle is telling them, that you're worth more than that to them. You're a valuable piece to them, and they can't afford to lose you. So yes, hold out until you get what you want. But to me, I think they're off like a million. That's the negotiation is about a million, and it's the guaranteed money.
I have a question for y'all, man. And is no hidden agenda or nothing behind it, but I just got a question. So can y'all name me anything where money became the priority and the quality of that thing still stayed the same?
Adam, I'll let you take that one.
Because for me, every time money becomes the priority, it seems like the quality lessens.
True. Because in college, it's the same way. And that's what we were talking about before. We were talking about college, the NIL in college. Does when money becomes a priority, does the quality go down?
Yes.
Do you not work as hard because you're getting paid?
Man, when you have options, the need to stay there and endure becomes less.
Adam, what you got to say about that?
I'm gonna throw one at y'all.
Okay.
And it may be a little out of the box for y'all, maybe not, depending on what kind of other sports you follow. The Premier League in England.
Okay.
And the NFL.
Okay.
Are probably the two entities that money is an obvious priority. Make no bones about it. It's very clear. The leagues probably wouldn't even lie to you and say they're not. Where an influx of money is an obvious priority and the quality got better.
But look, so my question is, you're right about that. And I don't have an issue when we're talking league-wise. But I'm talking about player to franchise, or just player to franchise, because I understand business have to go on, Right. So the brand has to do business, the league has to do business, but when it comes to the actual reason for the season, right, the actual point of it all, football. When football takes a backseat to finances, the attention to football becomes lesser, and the attention to the finances becomes more. So for me, every time you put your attention to, or your priority to, the finances, man, the thing that was the reason for the season, the quality becomes lesser. And like if you enjoy, I've seen this personally, man. I'm not gonna say any names, but I know some food trucks. The guy just wanted to know how to cook. Like, he just wanted to cook. Well, when he said, "Okay, I will allow this entity to come in and financially back my cooking, the cooking change. Now he's cooking stuff that wasn't even on the menu. He had no aspirations of even doing any of these food items. Everything that changed, it's not even the same name, branding, none of that. Everything that changed about it now. It's no longer his.
Okay. So I throw this out there. I think you have to have context of who's getting paid also.
True.
This is the challenge of any Super Bowl roster.
Yes.
After they win it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody wants to get paid and get paid handsomely. Take a look at the last Cowboys Super Bowl. Neil O'Donnell throws the ball to the same man in the same part of the field twice. You didn't hear anything about Larry Brown after he went to the Raiders. Neil O'Donnell was the quarterback that got the Steelers to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Took the money from the Jets and did what?
Nothing.
This is my thing.
And I'm not saying that as a bitter Steelers fan. No.
But check this out. This is my thing, man. Are y'all huge into like rap music or just the music world period?
Yeah.
All right. So are y'all familiar with Koch Records?
No.
No.
Okay, well I put y'all on game. Koch Records is where big artists go right before retirement. And in the NFL, we don't have Koch Records. We got the Jets. If a big name go to the Jets, trust me, they on their way out the door. That's just what it is, bro. Think about it. Think about it. Every big name went to the Jets. They either wrote them off and they had to fight their way back, or it was done for with them.
Mark Sanchez.
I'm telling you, man. Everybody.
Sanchez.
And is that more of the franchise having the money to, like? Okay, so prime example this year, you got what's his name going to Atlanta. God, what's his name?
Oh, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, yeah.
He didn't go to play. He went for that bag.
Well, this is my thing. I feel like the Jets are. I feel like there's a certain amount of propaganda, storyline telling, and stuff in professional sports as well. And I feel like the Jets is that organization when you're on your way out, because when they want to see if you're gonna make it or not, they send you to the Jets. You know why? Because they can write bad storylines when you're at the Jets. They can write you off when you're at the Jets. I'm just being honest, man.
Wow.
Well, I don't think Kirk. Well, let's be honest. Kirk Cousins is in the sports business Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
For
sure. His agent is A1. He has one of the best agents in the game.
You know,
how do you sell a bad Achilles? How do you sell Achilles?
Hey, a man selling water to a wheel right now, man.
Well, no, what they're selling is 1 p.m. on Sunday, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Kirk Cousins too.
You know, he's more than serviceable. The dude can play.
Yeah.
I think you look at the Atlanta situation, and people don't want to talk about it. All they want to do is scream about why the hell did they draft Penix.
Right.
Look deeper into that. Raheem Morris and Mr. Fontenot, Terry Fontenot, the GM, they have a plan in place, and people don't want to talk about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Raheem Morris, after the Tampa Bay situation, was in that Shanahan tree in Washington when they drafted RG3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He coached in Atlanta when Ryan got hurt, I believe it was, and then Ryan left the next year as an interim. Got to the Rams and saw him throw, say, F the kids, F the picks, and still send the kitchen sink and everything else to Detroit for Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
What you have in Atlanta, and people don't want to say it, is now an in-place plan for their quarterbacking for the next 10, 12 years, whatever it is, whatever that looks like. So I'm really not mad at him. Kirk Cousins, he's in the Sports Business Hall of Fame. Hey, if you can get it, get it.
Get it. Okay, so let's go college. Let's talk college since we're talking about that, and it seems like college is going, financial wise, is going NFL. It's gonna, is it for the students that are playing, the student athlete? Is it setting them up for the NFL as far as financial wise with the new deal, the NIL and all that? Is that setting them up for it, or do they still need that? Because I talked about it before. You're in college, you get your money, you get your NIL, you get your branding. Now you got everybody and their mama coming out the woodwork saying how much you owe them. You got the janitor that used to open the gym for you to let you practice a little bit, an hour more, and say, hey, where's my piece? You got your mama saying, hey, you owe me a house. Is that more pressure on that student athlete to perform better? Because like you said, like Ken said, the quality goes down once that money comes in.
Well,
Are you gonna perform better because you plan for your mama, trying to get your mama that new house or that new car she want, or is your quality gonna go down? Or are you gonna try to raise your draft stock?
well, this goes to the context of the conversation we had earlier.
Okay.
And the parents need to hear this right along with said student athlete, if you will. I said this earlier. Your young student, if he or she is at that level and they get a scholarship to go off to said school, you name it, at the least, if they're at that level in football or basketball, they're coming off your books. Okay? As a parent, you may end up on that child's books because if depending on the situation, that child may be able to either put you in a new house or pay off the house you in in college. So what you have to do for yourself as a student athlete, so you're performing, because if you get to this level, you probably want to go pro.
Right.
If you're an athlete and you're coming into a collegiate situation where you're able to put that type of NIL deal in place and monetize yourself, do all of these different things, you got all these Instagram followers and all of these great things, you probably have professional aspirations. So you have to have a plan in place how I'm going to get there. Mom, dad, grandma, granny, the cousins, and everybody else, your inner circle better be on board with said plan.
Right. I agree with that.
We get into trouble when instead of mom and dad, grandma, granny, when the inner circle is not supporting, They're just using the ATM.
Yeah. I think in college, college is a special case when it comes to does the money change things, because it does, but I think it's a good idea also. Um, I think players take a risk with their career in college and getting no real financial compensation to justify the risk, right? You just get opportunity to be seen again. Well, I think going into the league, this teaches players how to negotiate, how negotiation should work, how it should look. At least give them some kind of insight on how it should go or what it should look like. I think um, everybody isn't going to go to the pros, so it gives them a chance to make some money while they're in college. Because like, you're not really going to get a job. Football takes up so much time plus studying and stuff. You're not really getting a job. So this is a way for the player to actually make money and being able to focus on playing. The flip side to that is um, it's hard for a coach to really coach a player when so many other colleges want them. Because the minute you put your foot down on something, he goes, man, I go over here, man, they offer me such and such and such and such amount of money. And as soon as the portal open, I'm out of here because me and this dude ain't vibing. Instead of learning how to sit still and learn how to take criticism, learn how to endure some things, learn how to make it through some things. Everything in life isn't going to be peaches and cream. You're not always going to like the person that you're working for or the people that you're working with, but that doesn't mean that you should quit. You know what I'm saying? We can't develop a habit of just running all around, man. We becoming unstable creatures when we do that. So we have to, especially, and that's important for men. You as a man, you have to learn how to endure some stuff, man. As a man, you don't just get to quit because you don't like the way it went today. Like, so it's a double-edged sword, man. It's good, but then it also could teach bad habits too. And that's why it's important for parents to step in and be parents early, because you got to be able to teach these young guys or these young people, period, because women getting NIL deals too. So you got to be able to teach the youth the importance of um, morals, values, principles, the what it means to have a work ethic, what it means to be able to endure some things and press forward and press through. These things have to be taught at home, man. So when they get to that age and that space, they can exemplify what was being taught at home.
So Adam, how do you for a client, what do you tell them? If they don't come from that environment that he was just talking about, what Ken was just talking about, you don't come from that stable household or that family that teaches those moral values. What do you do to a client when they come to talk to you about it?
So my military career has taught me to work from a different space.
Okay.
I see myself more as a support asset to you, the client. You look at somebody, and this is no shade on anybody. If you got it to be able to function like that, hey, do you think? Me, from a personal perspective, and from, like I said, that what I've learned in the military, and from what I've seen of other agents in different sports and in different spaces, I think sometimes they get bigger than the athlete.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time. I'm a nerd about sports, love reading about it, love the business part, love it. But I'm also trying to get a couple nickels out of this. I can't get a couple nickels out of this if you ain't on the field.
Right.
Healthy and of sane mind and soul, performing. So I take more of a support asset look at it. If we're in that space, then I would like to be able to sit down with said clients, whether it's the NIL or at the professional level, sit down and figure out the inner circle. And it's not so much of giving advice. It's more for me, number one, planting seeds to get said client to think. Because and it's not a thing of absconding responsibility, but if mom and dad, the girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever, or the agent is making all the decisions, and you said client, said athlete have no say, what happens when shit hit the fan?
Right.
I just to be bluntly honest. Okay. You might cut ties with me or whoever it is you got representing you, or whoever you're getting advice from. You may cut ties with your family, but there's still no responsibility or accountability within that. You just cut ties with everybody. And now we're off to the next agent or lawyer, whatever, getting representation with no responsibility or accountability for myself or anybody within the circle. Excuse me. And, the part about the circle is important because you have to be able to utilize what's in your circle also. If I'm said athlete and I've got professional potential or next level potential, the thing I try and tell people too is look at your circle. Ask questions. Is there a chef in the family or in my circle? Are they professionally trained? Oh, if yes, are they professionally trained? Number two, are they educated? What is their education level as far as nutrition goes, and being able to cook for you and keep you not only fed but healthy, for lack of a better term. All right. And what that process does, and I would say look around your circle for all of that. Is there somebody with military experience? Okay, if I'm that level of athlete, I'm going to need a driver. Because you can't tell me I'm going to put millions of dollars in a 22-year-old's pocket and think they ain't going to the club.
Right.
Okay. Is there somebody with police experience or military experience that can get certified to have a weapon on them or whatever the case, whatever protection you feel you need within said state or said country's regulations? Does that person have a driver's license? Are they a skilled driver? Okay. So instead of them just going to me as the ATM, putting in a pin, mom, pull out some money, dad, pull out some money, cousin, whoever, pull out some money, BFF, type in BFF, pull out some money. My inner circle is just as invested in me as I am, because if I'm falling apart, whether it's on the field, off the field, whatever the case is, and I'm not getting paid, who else ain't getting paid?
Right.
So I have a question about that, and I don't know because that's not my field. But by doing that, doesn't that bring like a more of the opportunity for people to get over? Isn't it like how snakes get into the camp? Uh, because everybody that has been gotten over on, especially it seems like in sports and big business, has always been the people that's closest to them. Like, doesn't that open up the door for that?
That's a fair question. Um, but also within that, I'll respond to this. You're going to have to find a plan sooner or later.
That's true.
And once you figure out the plan, more than likely you also go figure out it's some other people that's got to get involved in this.
Yeah, at some point.
And I tell people all the time, look no further than The Last Dance.
Yep.
Look at how many people were either attached to or making money off of Michael Jordan that didn't carry the last name Jordan.
Now, for me, what I will say, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Adam. For me, I would say your inner circle should be people that tell you no. There shouldn't be always people in your inner circle just everything you say is a yes. Everything, yeah, that's good. Yeah, dude, you should do that. I think you should have at least one or two people in there and say, hey, man, that's not a good idea. Hey, man, like you said, pull that coattail, or, you want to go to the club, but hey, let's think about what's going to happen when you get to that club, or, how's that going to affect you going this place, going that place, going this place? Because once you get up there, you're going to get the invites to different places. You're going to get that, you're going to get this.
Right.
But you should have that person in your circle that'll tell you, hey, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And you should be able to listen to that person and know that they're not just in it for the money, they're in it for you.
Well, and that's part of it. So if I'm not in a position where I can just go, like I said, tap in the ATM code and pull money out of you, if I'm in a position where I need you to be healthy, happy, and sane on the field, off the field, and whatever else, I'm more likely, at least in my opinion, I'm more likely to put now, hey, bro, we ain't doing this today.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we in the club, hey, look, okay, it's getting stupid.
Right.
Let's get up on out of here. I already parked the getaway vehicle. We ain't got to back. I backed in. All we got to do is get out.
Right.
That's important to have people like that around you, man. Before I was coaching and stuff, I was DJing and rapping, and I had a friend of mine, a real close friend of mine, man. He got locked up when I first got into. Actually, I wasn't even doing music when he got locked up. He heard about me doing music while he was locked up. The very first conversation we had when he got out, man, and I seen him probably like 4 days after he got out because I had to move away. But the very first conversation we had was, "Hey, man, happy to see you. How's it going?" And then he went straight into, "Bro, I know you doing music. Let me be a bodyguard for you." And that was important to me because everything that I've ever done business-wise, he's always looked to see, bro, what do you need help with? And never looking for anything in return. I say that because if people have people like that around, man, you want to keep those people around. Because this guy, when I was doing security, man, he came up to do security for me. I had my own security team at one point. And he would come up and do security for me just because it's my business and he wanted to see it do well. So he would come up and help out with the security team and everything, man, and never looking for anything in return, bro. Dude been like that all our lives. That's how he's been. For people like that, it's like, yeah, I would definitely keep around because he's always looking to be an asset. And I don't know if he just trusts that I'm gonna take care of him when we can, or or what it is. But that's just always been who he's been. So I would say if you have people like that around, you want to make sure to keep them around.
Well,
He probably and I'm sorry. And the thing I think about it is he probably know your past and he know you.
Yeah, facts.
So of course he gonna have your, people like that gonna have your best interest at heart because they know you.
Yeah.
and I'm sure Adam's going to speak on that too. We're also talking about those people that just walk in when the ATM opens up. You know,
Yeah.
they haven't
Yeah.
been with you that whole time, and now they there now. Hey man, remember back in elementary we used to play ball on the court together. Now you know
Yeah, man.
I got this little thing going on.
Yeah, like where you
You know that
been, bro?
right?
Yeah, where you come from?
Well,
Go ahead, Adam.
and that's why, to me, um, the importance of having a plan in place and ensuring those that I put in or I deem in the inner circle understand what the plan is.
Yeah.
Because, in this may sound cringy to some, but said athlete is not an asset of the group. And everybody else now has to do everything possible to take care of him. I spoke about what you saw in The Last Dance. So take a look at, always keep that in perspective, and then keep what LeBron has done in perspective. Because it's not just him involved.
Mm-hmm.
Mav was smart enough to go get an education.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Braun pay for that?
Maybe not. I don't know, but
I
Mav
don't
was
know.
smart enough.
Yeah, I don't know
Right.
for sure. I thought I heard that or read it somewhere. But
The Mav was, like I said, Mav was smart enough to do it.
Yeah.
To get it done. Rich was smart enough and aware enough to know that LeBron was bringing him in rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And to add on to that, Rich was smart enough to know when to shut up and listen and peep game in those rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody can't come with you.
Right.
But it's a few people that can. You have to have. Everybody has to be on the same page, basically, within that inner circle. And that's why I come back to having a plan.
Yeah.
Always gotta have a plan.
And look, I'm gonna say this too, man, because you had brought up Jordan, and this is completely unrelated, but I thought I'd just throw it in there. Man, y'all ever watched the Air Jordan movie? I think it's on Prime, I believe.
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen it. I haven't seen it.
It's a movie about Nike doing the first Jordan shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you haven't seen it and you're in business, take a time to yourself, man, to watch that movie, man. For an entrepreneur, that movie is very inspiring and motivating, insightful even. Me being a entrepreneur myself, man, I was so motivated watching it and inspired watching that movie, man. I was like, bro, it really teaches you how to sit down and negotiate and navigate through deals. So, I just wanted to throw that out there, man. We was talking about deals and you brought up Jordan.
Wow. All right. Well, we've been talking on here for about an hour, but I love the conversation. It's good. It's good. Brother Adam, I love that you came on here, man. Gave us some insight. My man Ken, love you guys coming on here. I hate to wrap it up though, but we can go on for hours and hours and hours because this is a good subject, and I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know a lot of this stuff, and are still trying to navigate through these waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Brother Adam, give us your last thoughts and any other information you want to give to people that's listening.
So first and foremost, I don't take the opportunity to come on somebody's platform lightly, and when I do it, I come with the intent to be thoughtful and hopefully pass along some good information to you. So I hope and pray I did that, because, like I said, if I'm going to do this, I don't want to take people's platform lightly and abuse it. So I'm truly appreciative of your platform, Johnny, and I thank you for the opportunity to come on here. You can find me at just Google Spencer Group International. Our website will pop up. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn, Adam Spencer. You can find Spencer Group International on LinkedIn. Spencer Group International is also on Twitter. Um, and I'll leave you guys with this. There's a story of when Black women were allowed to enlist in the Women's Army Corps. And the story runs in line with the Tyler Perry movie about the 5666 Postal Battalion. So the story goes is, and I've looked to try and verify it, but the story goes is that when they enlisted, they had to sign all the documentation and do fingerprints. When they did after they did the fingerprints, they held up 2 fingers. One was for the battle at home. The other was for the battle abroad. And I just challenge people, as we move through life, you got to know where your battles are. And I'll leave y'all with that.
All right. Brother Ken, you got anything?
Man, first I just want to say, man, I appreciate you for inviting me on, bro. It's always a good time, man, when we link up and talk some sports. I guess, man, if you want to check out what it is that I do, man, you can find me at DJ Man TV. That's DJ MANN TV, and that's where you can catch the podcast and all the many other things I do, man. But my newest venture is 409 THAHEAT Sports. 409 The Heat Sports, man. That's what we're doing from here to infinity and beyond, man. That's where we're going. So that's the new sports network. Check it out. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. 409 The Heat Sports, man. We're doing something special. We're starting right here in the 409 area, covering sports in the Golden Triangle, but we definitely look to spread to. We want to take over Texas, man. So we're going to start with we trying to take over Southeast Texas, and then we're going to spread throughout. Like I say, man, my goal is I started out as a DJ, and I built a pretty extensive network from Louisiana all the way through Texas, and I just plan on going back through that same network, man, and setting up shop in the sports world. So that's it for me.
All right. Well, me being the host of the show, this started off as a thing that my wife pushed me to do because she said, "You sports 24/7." I'm watching the game, I'm watching the pre-show, the game, the after game, the highlights, the comments. So I took it there, but I want to take it further. I like conversations like this. I don't want this to be the normal average, sport conversation. I want people to get more content about it. I want people to be more informed. I don't want just the basic, give me a score, give me a highlight. But people like Brother Spencer coming on, giving you insights on different avenues and aspects. That's the kind of content I want for the show. And for my brother Ken, I don't know what I need to do to get on your DJ Man TV, man. I see you got everybody on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a special network, it's a special brotherhood you got to get a part of to get part of it.
Now we're gonna work, man. We're gonna work like we talked about before, man. I'm trying to get you on to 409 The Heat Sports, and man, we're gonna cover mainstream sports, man. So after Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, man, we're gonna give our take on the games and just go over some sporting stuff. So it's coming, bro. It's coming, man. We're gonna work.
All right. The only thing about it, I got my bowling thing going. Brother Anthony, I'm an avid bowler, so I bowl right now. I bowl Mondays and Fridays, but then my other league's starting up, so I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. So, yeah, but to me that's my release.
I feel you.
Bowl, get out and bowl and then enjoy yourself. One day you have a good game, one day you have a bad game, but it's the camaraderie, it's the friendships, it's all that. When we out there doing it, I have fun doing it. Because I can't really do too much more, but for me that's my thing. And I had talked to my pastor, and we talked about it. And he told me, if that's what you need for release, keep doing it. This extra
Yeah.
stress release, keep doing it. And I advise it to anybody. You need something for relief, do it.
Yeah.
Long as it's in the confines of safe and
Yeah.
positive. But don't do nothing. Don't go out there just go crazy like I just need to go do that. No, come on now.
Yeah.
Keep it safe. Keep it in the confines.
Keep it within your moral compass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it in your moral compass. If your mind start telling you, nah, that ain't good for you, then start listening to that. Listen to that. Definitely. But thank you guys for listening to Ray on Sports. My name is Johnny Ray. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. Take care and God bless.